new driveway can be one of the most expensive exterior investments you can make on your home. But it's hard to know if the company you've hired to install or maintain your driveway is reliable. That's where allaboutdriveways.com comes in. They do all the research for you, locating a trustworthy and experienced contractor. Patrick Mattingly of All About Driveways has been in the driveway business for more than a decade, and he's here to tell us about the website that you've created now called allaboutdriveways.com.
Yep.
All right, so tell us about allaboutdriveways.com.
Well, Chris, allaboutdriveways.com is a free resource for consumers to learn all about the proper installation of driveways, whether it be asphalt driveways, concrete, interlocking pavers, or even gravel driveways. They can access dozens of free videos and even ebooks on our website.
And why did you start the website?
Well, for a couple of reasons. Number one, because you'd be amazed. I mean, there's a lot of people out there who just love to have a beautiful driveway in front of their home. And I mean, if you think about it, it's the first thing that people see when people pull up to your home.
I'm one of them.
Yeah, exactly. You do. And the second reason why I started is because, as you mentioned earlier, I've been in the driveway business, for over a decade, and I just got tired of seeing people get ripped off, really, by the traveling rip-offs and the fly-by-night contractors who really, they just really don't care about doing a good job. And so I wanted to create a website where people could go and educate themselves and learn, the good questions to ask contractors so that they can avoid getting ripped off by these guys.
And we'll get into those rip-offs in a moment, and the fact that you've been in the business, for over a decade, and I knew you when you were, paving driveways. That's how we first met. I've known you a long time, and you've been on the radio show telling people what to avoid and all that, and we'll get to all that. But first, I want to let people know too that you started here in Colorado, but your website is actually nationwide. Yeah,
actually, it's interesting. We'll help people from all over the country. I mean, we get thousands of visitors on our website from all over the country. As a matter of fact, I've had people contact me from as far as Australia, China, Canada, although I don't focus on those, and I'll certainly help them out. We get hits from all over the world.
And you help people not only find a contractor to help them, pave their driveway or concrete, put concrete down on their driveway, whatever it might be, but you also help the do-it-yourselfers.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, if they want to learn how to do some maintenance on their driveway themselves, and so they can extend the life of their driveway, we have some tutorial videos that will show them exactly how to do it.
And you'll also help them if they have been ripped off.
Yeah, basically, Chris, the way it works is if a consumer feels like they have been ripped off, no matter where they're at in the country, if they feel like they've been ripped off, we encourage them to contact us and tell us their story. What we'll do is we'll help investigate it, and if we find that contractor did actually rip that consumer off, we're going to put some pressure on that contractor to go back and either fix it, do the job right, or give them some money back, something. And if in the end we can't get them to do the right thing, we're going to aggressively warn consumers in their area that they are not to be trusted and to not use that company.
Yeah, and we'll help you with that, with our resources here with Channel 4 and with the radio station, and our relationships with the Department of Regulatory Agencies and the Better Business Bureau, so we're on board with you. And that's why all the contractors on your site in Colorado have been background checked by us too, and by yourself.
Yeah. So, well, let me mention this too, Chris. This, in my opinion, is another one of those industries that is completely unregulated. And so that's what we want to do, is try to bring a little bit of regulation into the industry, all over the country.
Now, let's talk about some of the most common ways consumers get ripped off by these driveway contractors.
Well, the list is long, but I'll keep it kind of short. The first thing that can happen is that these contractors, they want to get in and get out and make as much money as they can, as quick as they can. So they won't put a whole lot of time into actually grading the driveway so that it drains properly. And what can happen is, unfortunately, it rains or it snows, and that water can actually run back into the garage or maybe even flood their home. With asphalt driveways or even concrete driveways, a lot of things they'll do, they'll install them way too thin.
Sure.
And it looks great at first, but a few weeks down the road to a few months down the road, then the signs of a poor job really start to show up. It starts to crack and fail, and it just looks horrible. And so not only does the consumer have to pay to have it torn out and replaced back right, but they lost the money from the initial job. Some of the things that they do with maintenance, they'll dilute the material. So people will have their asphalt driveway sealed, or they'll have their concrete driveway sealed. These guys will dilute the material to practically nothing, and it really has no value to their driveway whatsoever. It looks good, again, for a few weeks to a few months, but it just has no value whatsoever.
So as a consumer, the best thing to do, because you can't really tell when the job's done right away because it looks great.
Yeah.
It's about 6 months down the road that you can tell that it hasn't been properly installed. So it's always important to make sure you have a good contract on the front end to protect yourself. Make sure that you have industry standards, make sure you have the thickness in there, make sure you have, with concrete, just make sure it's not diluted too much, but covered on the front end with a contract. And you'll review contracts for consumers too.
Absolutely. As a matter of fact, consumers can go to our website, and we have a series of videos called The Most Common Ways That Contractors Rip Us Off and How to Avoid Them, and they can learn exactly how the contract should be written so that it protects them and not the fly-by-night contractor.
Great. And I just want to let people know too that not only do you do driveways, but you'll do all other kinds of projects too that are related to asphalt or concrete. We're out of time right now though, but thanks for sharing this great information. I'm going to tell our viewers how they can get a hold of you.
Absolutely. Thanks, Chris.
allaboutdriveways.com is your one-stop shop for all your driveway needs. They background check all their contractors so you know you're getting a reliable company. Visit their website at allaboutdriveways.com or call them at 866-966-9939. Mention Haystack and receive $100 off any maintenance or installation project. The number again is 866-966-9939.